Hi. Today I'm on the central office headquarters. I'm with the Med Head Department with Barbara Aslan. I would like to ask a couple questions to him, and we will go over that kind of question. The first one is about intervention. I mean, I'm talking about some students they need the help, and how do you find out what kind of systems or what kind of programs do you have, and you can find the students that they need help.
So, your first question is about how to determine the students with their needs.
Yes, and of course, after this point, I would like to ask the second one is, I mean, what is the action that what you are going to do, what they need, how do you figure out the
And how
message?
to use the data
Yes.
to take necessary
Action.
actions. Okay, to point out your first question about how to determine the students and their needs, we use a main platform which is used by many districts in Texas called Eduphoria.
Mm-hmm.
Eduphoria provides good reports, and it breaks down our benchmark test data in pretty good shape.
Okay.
It gives detailed report for each standard. It breaks it down that way. But overall, we realized a couple of years ago, that Eduphoria's platform is not being used efficiently by teachers
Mhm.
because it's a hassle for teachers to use time, create time and use it. So we just wanted to make it a little easier for teachers to use the system, to Eduphoria, and make it a little more meaningful and a little more user-friendly
Okay.
for teachers. So personally, I use my coding skills to create an application. It's a basic, simple Excel application which analyzes the data. It's the mass data from Eduphoria, and it analyzes the Eduphoria data and provides teachers several different reports.
This data you're talking about, I mean, STAR test or mock test, what kind of test? Everything or?
The tool can analyze any data, and we do it for mandatorily.
Mhm.
Dean of Academics are responsible for this.
Mhm.
They are supposed to run the data, provide the data to teachers. Not the data, but the reports.
I got you.
I'm talking about really detailed reports, which shows every single student and every single needs for those students. It
Perfect.
groups the kids based on their overall performance in the test,
Mhm.
and also it gives us a great picture and what kind of intervention should be provided to students on what topic, what kids should be in there in that small group. So the report basically does the job.
I got you. I mean, the teacher they can, or the academic dean of academics they can figure out which kids, what kind of needs they need. I mean, exactly the report shows everything to them. You know.
As I
Because-
said, Dean of Academics are responsible
Mhm.
to run the reports. The tool does everything. All they do is just make a couple of clicks, and when they do that, it's little. It takes time. It's time consuming. So
Mhm.
they mostly do that like before they leave for home, and when they come back next morning, all the reports will be ready for them.
I mean, you're
Like, I'm
talking about
talking
how many kids, how many students you're talking about?
They run the report for each section. That's the critical point. We
Okay.
don't run the report for the school
Mm.
because we have the lab environment. So let's say there is a class, 25 students in the class, and the reports should be consisting of only those students, because teachers can use that report to pull the kids. If that group of that report includes the students who was not there, that
Mhm.
report is pretty much
I got you.
useless.
I got you.
So that report is, those intervention reports are created for every single section, and in a school there are like a lot of sections.
Got you. What about the next step?
After we determine the students
Yes.
and their basic needs, and we, the first step is get the Dean of Academics, who is the administrator,
Mm-hmm.
and teacher or teachers, because sometimes there are more than one teacher addressing the needs. Sometimes the math teacher and the lab teacher
Math lab, am I right? You're talking
Math
about-
lab I'm
yeah.
talking about. So we have like a half and a half.
Mhm.
5 hours of math regular class, core class. The other half is a lab.
Okay.
And in the lab, pretty much we do intervention. And during the intervention time, in the small group, the other students are on the computer with Alex, a software program.
Okay.
The first thing first, the data should be not just run, but also analyzed by the people.
Mhm.
So they need to decide who is going to take care of among those students. Interventionists will take mostly the severe students, since they provide intervention out of class, very small, intense environment. That's why interventionists take care of those red group. We call them very lowest group.
Mhm.
And we call the bubble kids. They are, in terms of colors in the report, they are the yellow tone. And
Yeah,
they're the
orange.
bubble kids, and regular teachers are responsible to take care of them. And they do that during the lab in the classroom.
Mhm.
So before they start taking actions, they get together. The administrator, teachers, interventionists get
Mhm.
all together and have the data meeting. We call data meeting. They should go in depth. Conversations should occur, like what kind of which standards should be covered first. They need to talk about that. What standards should be done in a whole class reteach, not just small group. Sometimes some of the standards, some of the topics are, the report says a lot of students are in trouble with that, which means there is no way to cover that kind of topic, in a small group, little by little,
Mhm.
because it takes forever
I
to
got
finish
you.
that. That's why they need to do whole group reteach. And we use mainly labs for that.
I get
We
you.
don't want to really use the regular class because we don't want to fall behind in the curriculum.
That means-
So another function of the lab is whole group reteach, and based on the report, what the report says. And after they talk about the students, they split the
Mhm.
students. Okay, that's my group, that's your group, and that determination is done. Teachers makes grouping kids. Actually, reports is very clear about,
Yes.
okay, these kids are in trouble with that standard, with that topic, so teachers just pull them out because other students are good and they don't need to really spend time, waste time with that topic because they're good with it.
I got you.
They need to just process or progress in Alex, that
Mhm.
software program.
Alex, again, another practice program, or?
It is adaptive math software
Mhm.
that is very, I would say, one of the best in the market.
I got you.
They can teachers can either to use it for intervention, kind of like fill the gap coming from the previous years, or some of the kids, they're advanced
I get you.
and they just
That means
go above and
basically,
beyond.
yeah, if they do not need anything about that kind of, the intervention class, they are going to use it Alex. But the other groups, you are going to make groups, small groups, they are going to go by teachers. That
Either
kind of-
by a teacher in the classroom, in the same round table,
Mhm.
they get together. We recommend like not more than 5 kids. Interventionists, they actually pull their groups out of classroom.
Oh,
So the classroom kind of like getting smaller
Mhm.
with that help.
I got you.
Some campuses still uses pushing method, which I don't really recommend it because of some issues like location, or they don't have a sufficient room or something
Mhm.
to pull out the kids. They do that like 2 different groups going on in the classroom, which is rare, but still it's possible
Yeah.
to see that kind of environment too. Actions, we just let the teachers and interventionists be collaborative about what to do and how to do it.
Okay.
So they have to be always talk to each other about what kind of next,
Mhm.
what to do about next.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Aslan.
You are very welcome.
All right, all right, bye.